where we unpack political, social, economic, and cultural stories shaping our world. I am Emmanuel Taban. Now, I want us to look at a counter reply by the SPLA-IO Army spokesperson, Lam Paul Gabriel, towards the statement issued yesterday by the SSPDF spokesperson, Lul Ruai, who actually released a statement allegedly of it to be of the CDF, that is Paul Nang. Now, before we continue with this video, if this is your first time watching a video on my channel, on the Concern Podcast, please do not hesitate to subscribe, hit on the notification button so you can get notified of our future videos. Like, comment, and if the videos interest you, of course, share with your friends and your closest circle. It is a way of making this channel grow. If you're someone who is passionate about politics, then this is the right channel here for you. Thank you so much for those who have been supporting me and supporting the channel. It has been growing immensely, and thank you again for your support. Continue doing so. Now, yesterday on the 12th of October, a statement was issued by the South Sudan People's Defense Forces spokesperson, that is Major General Lul Ruai Koang, and the statement was said to be of the newly appointed Chief of Defense Forces, who is Paul Nang, the newly appointed CDF, Paul Nang. And in the statement, it addresses mainly three things. It was in fact an order statement. It was a statement that ordered the Bor-based militia group, the Red Belt Movement, to surrender their weapons. And the second one also giving an ultimatum to the armed youth groups in the Greater Warab State to also within 21 days disown their weapons. And the last order was the one that was given to the SPLA-IO members to report to an SSPDF barracks, a closest or the nearest SSPDF barracks, for the commencement of the second phase of the transitional security. That was the order that was issued by the Army spokesperson, who also doubles as the Director of Media and Press in the South Sudan People's Defense Forces, Major General Lul Ruai Koang. Now, a few hours when Major General Lul Ruai issued that statement, the spokesperson for the South Sudan People's, the SPLA-IO, who is none other than Lam Paul Gabriel, issued a counter statement that actually attracted the attention of the public, and he made that statement posted on his Facebook page. I'm going to read that statement. This is what it said. Press release, and the statement was released on the same date, of course, on the 12th of October, that was yesterday, and the statement reads: response to SSPDF press release dated 12th of October 2025. And here it goes. The SPLA-IO read with dismay a statement written by the spokesperson of South Sudan People's Defense Forces, Major General Lul Ruai Koang, falsely asserting that General Paul Nang has powers over the SPLA-IO by directing SPLA-IO forces to report to SSPDF bases. This is not only a false claim, but a dream that will never come true completely. And he continues, the SPLA-IO is a national movement with independent command structure under the leadership of His Excellency Riek Machar Teng Durgan, PhD, as its commander-in-chief. Paul Nang should focus on his tribal politics with the SSPDF and avoid crossing a line which is above his level. The SPLA-IO forces are hereby asked to disregard the false threat by the SSPDF-CDF and continue focusing on the liberation struggle to bring genuine peace to the suffering people of South Sudan. Colonel Lam Paul Gabriel, SPLA-IO spokesperson. Oh, that is the statement issued by Major General Colonel Lam Paul Gabriel, the spokesperson of the SPLA, or the Sudan People Liberation Army, in opposition. Now, that was a very, very strong counter statement, and that statement, as I said, was made as a reply to the statement issued by the SSPDF spokesperson, who is Lul Ruai Koang. And of course, immediately after he issued that statement, and so many people had their comment on that post or on that statement, and I'm just going to read some of these comments. David Okej said, any armed forces that are refusing to report to the government barracks or refusing to be integrated into SSPDF shall be considered as terrorists, and forceful disarmament shall be carried out if they refuses to surrender weapons. That is David Okech. And the next one is Gadkwong Riak Lajor. He said, they have already destroyed all cantonment sites, and I believe that this is he meant the SSPDF. They've already destroyed all containment sites and are now calling for phase 2 for the training, which they delayed tactically since 2019 until now. And Wuluwe Bill Rom said, since I saw that command, it has immediately came into my mind that SPLA-IO is an independent party, which will never be ordered by other party to do what they are not planned by SPLA-IO. Anything related to the peace agreement need to be discussed by these two organs instead of forceful command from the so-called SSPDF, CDF, which will not work at all. What I want to add here is all SPLA-IO forces should have to stay alert for self-defense in case. Viva IO. And the next one is Deng Mayol. He said, as you wrote this statement, I believe you have been to other countries before. Does a single country have two armies in the country? I mean, that's a very great question from Deng Mayol there. And the next person is Matoch Makura Cage. He said, De Talmat, comrade. That means in Arabic that this is a command, comrade. No one is above CDF except president. Who are you to sabotage orders? And I feel this is in the reply of the statement issued by the SPLA-IO spokesperson. Yeah, these were some of the comments. Now, for those who might be wondering about the phase 2 of the transitional security arrangement, now, according to the revitalized peace agreement, the phase 1 of the transitional security arrangement was one that started by bringing all, people from forces from the different warring parties to come together and taken to the cantonment side and given training. And the second phase that Lul Ruai, or the army spokesperson, the SSPDF army spokesperson, was speaking about is the one that would start by the training is done. Well, after the training is done, in the second phase, of course, it includes the deployment of all these forces after being trained, and then also forming a security structure that brings in the different people from the different warring parties that were part of the revitalized peace agreement, or the part of the agreement, of course. Now, yeah, that was a counter reply that was given by the SPLA Army spokesperson, Major General Lam Paul Gabriel. And to so many people, this is already going to be intense, because so many SPLA-IO members, they think that this is a trick being used by the SSPDF. Of course, we have witnessed that in the few days there's been lots of attacks or insecurity happening in all parts of the country, in Upper Nile, and even in parts of Greater Ye, in Morobo, and in parts of Nimule. All these, there have been kind of insecurity happening, and therefore, so many SPLA-IO members, they think that this is a trick being applied by the SSPDF. They want these people to surrender to their barracks, and therefore they will be disarmed and maybe ultimately taken to jail. So I think this is the kind of belief that is in so many members of the SPLA-IO forces. So they believe that the SSPDF is trying to use a trick, and they did that so many times. It happened in Western Equatoria, and people just think this is another trick being applied, and I think that's the reason why the SPLA-IO army spokesperson Paul Lam Gabriel asked the SPLA-IO to be at alert, because and the SPLA-IO is an independent movement according to him. I'm not saying they are independent. Of course, I believe there shouldn't be anywhere in the country, just like one of the guy wrote in the comment section that in any part of the country, you can, in any part of the world rather, you can find that a country has two different armed forces. I mean, we're supposed to have one army and under one command, of course, but our situation is kind of a different. It's understandable how this came into being, but in an ideal situation of a country only has one army under one command. Yes. So thank you so much. This is the Concern Podcast, and I am Emmanuel Taban. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Just click on the subscription button, hit on the notification button so you can get notified of more videos coming up. Thank you so much. Until next time, I remain Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concern Podcast.